I told you that most people don't stay financially stuck just because they aren't working hard enough?
The crazy reality is they usually stay financially stuck because they fall into everyday financial traps that they don't even notice. It's really not about a lack of effort for most of us. It's about a complete lack of awareness of these invisible hurdles that are sitting right in front of us.
Today, we are diving straight into the 7 silent money traps that quietly keep millions of hardworking people stuck. And, much more importantly, we're going to break down exactly how you can avoid them to really secure your financial future. To make this super easy to digest, we'll quickly cover the silent wealth killers, dangerous daily spending habits, the cost of doing nothing, overcoming bad financial mindsets, and finally, your path to wealth.
All right, let's jump right into section 1, the silent wealth killers, hidden in plain sight.
Here is the thing about these wealth killers. They don't look dangerous at all. In fact, they seem completely 100% normal. Almost everyone around you is doing them. But over time, they quietly drain your money, they limit your future opportunities, and they make financial freedom so much harder to reach. Basically, they slowly choke your ability to prepare for the future, and they do it without ever sounding an alarm.
Moving on to section 2, dangerous daily spending habits. We're looking at traps 1, 2, and 6 here.
Trap number 1 is what I call living for today's happiness. You know the drill, right? You get paid on a Friday and boom, the paycheck is drained by Sunday. It goes to a new phone, a weekend shopping trip, endless food deliveries, or those subscriptions you literally never use. Now, individually, these don't seem like a big deal, but together, they absolutely destroy your ability to save. The alternative is balancing today's enjoyment with tomorrow's goals. Financially successful people make sure every single dollar has a specific job. Some dollars are meant to be spent today, absolutely, but others, they're strictly meant to build your future.
Then we've got trap number 2, trying to impress other people. There is a massive difference between projecting a wealthy image and quietly building actual wealth. We've all felt that pressure to spend just to impress. Comparing ourselves to the luxury cars, the designer clothes, and those picture-perfect vacations plastered all over social media. But here's the honest truth. You rarely see the full, often debt-heavy financial reality behind those posts. Genuine wealth building really comes down to asking yourself, will my future self thank me for this decision instead of worrying about what will people think of me? That one tiny shift in perspective, it's a total game changer for how you spend. We're actually going to skip ahead slightly in our numbering because trap number 6 fits this daily spending theme perfectly. Trap 6 is buying with emotions instead of logic. Have you ever bought something and then, 3 days later, realized you completely didn't need it? Stress, boredom, limited time flash sales, these all trigger emotional buying. And if you let those sudden feelings dictate your spending, it quietly steals thousands of dollars from you over the years. The alternative, of course, is buying with logic.
So how do we actually fix this? Financially successful folks use a ridiculously simple habit. First, just notice the urge when you're stressed or see a sale. Second, wait. Just give it 24 hours to a few days. And finally, ask yourself, is this going to improve my life next year, or is it just going to make me happy for the next couple of hours? Taking a really short pause today prevents huge regrets tomorrow because it separates your feelings from your logic.
All right, let's zoom out a bit for section 3, the cost of doing nothing, which covers traps 3 and 4.
Trap number 3 is never investing. Picture 2 friends making the exact same salary. Friend A just uses a standard bank account and literally never invests. Friend B invests, but just small amounts consistently. Now, at first, you won't see much difference between them, but as time passes, Friend B's money actually has the opportunity to compound and grow, while Friend A completely misses out on years of potential growth. The big takeaway here isn't that investing is some magical, risk-free guarantee of wealth. It's that waiting forever to invest guarantees that you will fall behind someone who just started early, even with tiny amounts.
It really boils down to this. The biggest mistake isn't always making a bad investment. Sometimes, it's just never getting started in the first place. So many people delay investing because they think they need this massive pile of cash to even begin. But the reality? Learning early and just being consistent is way more powerful than waiting around for a windfall.
Which brings us right to trap number 4, depending on a single paycheck. Think about it. What happens if your only source of income just suddenly vanishes? For a lot of families, absolute financial panic begins almost immediately. Depending on one paycheck leaves you incredibly vulnerable. Successful people reduce this risk by gradually building up alternative income streams. That could be freelance work, running a small online business, holding dividend-paying investments, or selling digital products. The goal here isn't to hustle 24/7. The goal is simply to reduce your risk so your entire life isn't resting on one single source of income.
Okay, Section 4, Overcoming Bad Financial Mindsets, where we'll dig into traps 5 and 7.
Trap number 5 is a massive one, ignoring your financial education. It's such a familiar story, right? We spend years working hard to earn money without ever actually learning how to manage it. Schools teach us a lot of great things, but very few teach everyday money management. That makes this trap incredibly common. But let's be real, there's no excuse today. We have free resources everywhere, books, podcasts, videos, you name it. The more you understand money, the more confident your decisions become. Knowledge is literally the one investment nobody can ever take away from you.
And that leads perfectly into trap number 7. I bet you've heard someone say this, or maybe you've even said it yourself. I'll start saving when I make a little more money. I'll start investing next year. I'll figure out this whole money thing when life gets a bit less crazy. This is the trap of waiting for the perfect time. And it is so dangerous because months quickly turn into years, and before you know it, you've lost decades of progress.
The crucial thing you need to remember is that a small action today is almost always more valuable than some perfect plan that never actually launches. The harsh reality is there's rarely a perfect moment. Financially successful people just begin before everything feels perfectly aligned. They learn as they go, making step-by-step improvements instead of just sitting on the sidelines waiting for the stars to align.
Finally, Section 5, Your Path to Wealth. Small habits, massive results.
Breaking out of this cycle is actually shockingly simple. First, choose just one money trap from this explainer. Second, avoid it consistently in your daily life. And third, once you've mastered that first one, move on to the next trap. Don't try to change your entire life today. Just pick one, focus on making slightly better decisions over and over, and I promise you'll watch your financial future transform step by step.
So I want to leave you with a question to chew on. Which of these money traps do you think is affecting the most people out there? And more importantly, which one are you going to commit to avoiding starting today? Think about your own habits, reflect on the friction points we just talked about, and take that one small action today. Leave your answer in the comments below, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.